Sup, duelists? Welcome to episode 1 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutors. I'm Bandit Crowley.
I'm JD.
Alright, let's get the show on the road. First off, let's talk about the ban list that just dropped in 2 days ago. It is now in effect.
Oh man, this hammer was the lightest hammer I've ever felt.
Yeah, the OCG got such a more harsh ban list, man.
You want to try and put those words back together in a better? No, don't stop it. Come on, we're doing this one.
Alright, whatever. This was the harshest ban list for the OCG, and for us, it was barely a love tap.
It was the harshest ban list in terms of the fact
You want to work that better, buddy?
what? Yeah, I mean, this is the hardest I've ever seen a tier 1 deck get hit, especially right after release.
In the OCG.
Yeah, that's saying something, because OCG's got Feather Duster, we don't even have a Heavy Storm. Yeah. I mean, they got 3 Compulses. We only have 1.
I don't understand why Zodiacs were apparently such a big deal there to the point where they just had to kill it. I haven't seen them do that to any deck ever, actually. Not that I can recall.
I saw that we saw them try with Dark Synchron. They really did. They put the hurt on Dark Synchron too by banning Level Eater.
You can't keep that mother down though. They just went and used the tokens.
That's fair. So, yeah, that completely off the table. What does make me happy is what came back off of the ban list.
Kinda. I'm upset with what went away.
We got Brain Control back, Future Fusion, Sangan.
But Brain Control's shitty now. And I think Sangan is too. Isn't it like once per turn now?
The erratas are game ruining.
I mean, you can tell, for instance, with us, for the TCG specifically, Sangan went to 3 because Sangan is now shit. Once per turn, it doesn't matter how many you run. It's too slow. All right, well, let's get back to the front line for a bit. He's JD, I'm Bandit Crowley. We're doing a show, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutors. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at the exact same name, Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutor. So let's get down to it. The first thing that was banned, it was a Magispectre Unicorn Kirin.
It deserved to get hit. Honestly, a monster at 2,000 that can't be targeted by your opponent, targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, a little too much. Can't be destroyed by battle. I mean, this thing's a fucking wall. It's a behemoth. It deserved that.
But it was at 2,000.
Yeah, but it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects.
I mean,
it is its own spirit.
Not being able to be destroyed is not that big a threat for a lot of people.
Not that big a threat, but when the tier 1 deck is Trident, all it does is destroy, and they're not getting bigger than 2 grand, this thing's gonna sit in their face and shit on them.
But the other tier 1 deck was Paleozoics, and they just would the equivalent of Karma Cut that thing.
Right, they only have 3 of those. But it's a searchable Karma Cut.
Exactly.
I mean, but what about regular decks? How are you gonna bypass that thing?
Well, you know how I'm gonna.
Well, now you have a fucking. Now you have a fucking Chachula, so I don't even want to hear that.
Yeah, like we just did a box opening for the Duelist Saga.
Fuck them. Don't even tell them.
Well, why not? We gotta promote our video, dude.
Thanks for watching, dumbasses. Oh
hey,
man,
hey, do not insult the listeners.
Do not insult the fans.
They're not our fans. We're a podcast. They're our listeners.
That's fair.
It's different.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to upset anyone. I love you all exactly the same.
That's right. You keep sucking that dick.
I work the shaft. I work the shaft like a fucking lady.
So, anyways, we posted a video on YouTube shortly before we put this up. And it's 2 videos or 1 video, depending how we decide to mash it together.
Yeah, this is the editor talking over there, so I would like it to be 1 video, but if you can't do it, you can't do it.
If we do 1 video, it's a 35-minute video. No one's gonna stick around for that.
We don't have to be a 35-minute video. You can just slice the good parts. You can kick out the full, like...
The second video, basically. In the second video, we talk about our opinions on it and what cards we feel will make an impact in this upcoming format and even later.
I have an idea as to how we could edit it audially, but it would be visually...
Audibly?
Fuck you. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player, not a fucking thesaurus or dictionary.
I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I know math.
I do very simple math. I can divide by 2. I can subtract 2 numbers. And sometimes I add.
Hey man, some monsters back in the day had 1930 defense. That was some hard math.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get good to Yu-Gi-Oh until they started making it all rounded out.
Until we got to like middle school with algebra and shit.
I still can't math. So, I think the biggest deal right now is the fact that Paleozoics, Zodiacs don't know who they are anymore. Paleozoics can still run rampant, like they really can, with Totally Awesome still being a complete thing that they can go to.
That really upsets me that Totally Awesome didn't at least go to 1 or 2. Because at semi-limited, you didn't really do anything to the deck, but you could say that you tried.
Yeah, but you can just Kaiju Totally Awesome off the board.
I understand that, but not everybody runs Kaiju, especially now that the Kaiju spell got hit.
Homeboy, we have a whole bunch of Kaijus we ain't using.
Yeah, I get that, but still. Your average duelist.
Yeah, it's not your average duelist, it's your average net decking duelist. And there's a huge distinction here. A net decker is a person that's going to look online and see what other people are doing, what's the most popular thing other people are doing, and then see how much it would cost them to do that themselves. And so most of the time, they're more willing to do it than you think. We got a guy at our locals who essentially net decked Zodiacs, but as of recently, he's been starting to understand the deck. He net decked it, and now he's starting to digest it.
He had it before he even knew what it really did.
Yeah, that's true. He had it before he knew what he did. He lost to Yang Zings. And I love you, and I love your build, but Yang Zings versus Zodiacs
is not a meta build. It was not Infernoid Zodiacs. I run a purist Yang Zing stun.
That's true, which means you just make Chow Fang with Earth, and he can go each.
Yeah, against this guy, all I did was summon any 2 Yang Zings like Chai went to have it ready, and then I Dark Hold for the levels I actually wanted off of Jatu, and went for it.
Right. So, there's that. There's lots of ways to stop the Zoo, so I don't feel like the ban list should have necessarily touched Zoo. I mean, it kind of felt very centered at the Zodiac. Like, the ban list was trying really hard to weaken it.
Yeah.
But they took away a rat pier, which does hurt the deck a little bit. Just a tiny. They slapped it on the wrist.
Well, it killed that best combo for them ever, which is 1 rat pier opens up your entire deck. Now it's at 2, so it only opens up most. And now players think that because it opens up most instead of all, it's not good anymore. I'm gonna get
or it's
else.
Not good enough.
Yeah. Now if you run Zodiacs, you have to run it with Infernoids versus shit.
Or you just play Infernoids, play at 60 cards.
I mean, a 60-card Infernoid deck, I believe, is still a good build. I personally don't agree with a 60 count.
Thank you. I hate the idea of playing a 60-card deck, and I love hearing people say they're so inconsistent.
It's like, no shit, you added 20 cards.
Most of the time it's 20 cards you didn't need. You don't get the draw power. You're playing, left arm offering? You're willing to banish your entire hand.
A lot of people that I've seen, they, splash 30 Infernoid cards and 30 Zodiac cards. Like, cards that would normally be in those 40-card decks. And that's it.
So you guys might hear a little bit of rumbling in the background. It sounds like we got a generator on out there.
That's my neighbor's vehicle.
Oh, okay. So that's loud.
We're low budget. We're recording on my place.
Balling on a budget.
Yep. So the second card that got hit by the Banhammer,
Breakfast at McDonald's.
specifically because of the OCG, I didn't see this being used in the TCG at all, is the Tyrant Neptune.
Oh man, they just wanted to preemptively get that before we started going crazy with it. The ability to copy effects makes it a crazy card.
For those of you that have no freaking idea what it is, like we did before we started hearing about it in the OCG.
Well, we knew what it was. We just hadn't thought of anything of it.
Yeah. So the Tyrant Neptune is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stars. Reptile at 0 and 0. You can't bottomless him.
Right.
So he cannot be special summoned. You can tribute this card. You can tribute summon this card by tributing 1 monster. This card gains the total original attack and defense of the monster or monsters tributed for this tribute summon.
Right.
When this card is tribute summoned, target 1 effect monster in the graveyard that was tributed for the tribute summon. This card's name becomes that target's name, and this card gains that target's effects.
Oh, goodness.
Now, there's not that much you can do with that card.
Does it gain that monster's effects until the end of the turn?
No, he just gains that monster's effects.
Shut the fuck up. So if you tribute a Majesty's Fiend and a Fossilidina, you got a monster at 36, your opponent can't special summon or activate monster effects.
No, you only pick one monster and it has that effect. So what you want, I guess, would be Fossilidina.
So you
get bigger Fossilidina.
A monster at 36 so they can't fight it.
Exactly.
Or even then, Majesty's Fiends at 36. Well, no, they're just gonna kaiju it.
Yeah, they would just kaiju it at that point.
That's
You gotta use Fossilidina or Patchy, like some people call it.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
What's up, Patches?
Get out of here, James. James is actually my dad's name. That's why I have such a weird time talking to him sometimes.
He's like, sup, Dad?
Yeah,
as far as cards that were banned, we salute Vanity's Emptiness.
Oh,
it's back on the ban list, right? It used to be on the ban list a long time ago.
It was never on the ban list.
I feel like it should have been.
It had gone straight to limited for a while. Like it was released in Star Strike Blast originally as a short print common. So those commons sometimes went as high as 40, and then it just started getting reprinted. Of course, the prices dropped. It was at 3 for a while, and it was a bad idea to run 3. So most people ran 2, and then it ended up getting itself limited, which it deserved.
Yeah.
Because Macro Vanity's Loop.
Which is a stupid game mechanic that shouldn't have really existed.
No, fuck you. There's no sense. It makes sense because there is no graveyard being recognized.
The only reason I'm happy Vanity's Emptiness got banned is because of that loop.
Right.
Other than that, that card did not deserve to be hit. The reason it got hit is because the meta decks were bitching too much.
It's not the meta decks. It's just that's a small community of ARG players, I think. And Vanity's Emptiness was a fair card.
It was. If you lost to Vanities, it's because you did not build a deck that could fight Vanities.
If you ask
That's
me,
your fault.
If you ask me, we should have got Heavy Storm back. Heavy Storm is fair. Now, the OCGS Harpy's Feather Duster, much less fair.
I think Feather Duster would have been better to come back, but I'm biased as a Harpy Lady user.
Because you'd be able to fucking search it.
Exactly.
And no.
The main deal with it is nowadays a lot of decks can plus off of Heavy Storm, though.
Fuck them. Fuck yeah.
Ban those decks. Bring Heavy Storm back.
Just errata everything that pluses off a Heavy Storm. Like, you guys, come on. You guys are, Konami's killing pendulums. Like, keep Yu-Gi-Oh fair. Hashtag. So, hashtag 25 card extra deck.
Not 20, man. 20. 25 is way too much. 17 is good enough.
I'm a good copier.
But they like going by 5s.
I'm a good copier. I'm trying to be generous for us.
That's too generous.
I'm trying to get results.
Officer, I feel like you're taking too many bribes.
I'm trying to get results, Justin. So
the thing that I completely disagree with, there's no fucking way it should have happened, was Maxi limited to 1.
Oh man. Banning Vanities, limiting Maxi, you could just tell Konami's trying to pave the way for the Link Summon format. And
which is the only thing that would have really been hit by Maxi.
And that, in and of itself, kind of tells us what Konami's looking to do here. They want everything to be going fucking nuts. They want everything to have all of the open opportunities to go crazy and take away the responses of players. And I think now in the format we're heading to, we're going to see a huge change in pace.
See, the main thing to me with Link Summoning is that a lot of people think it's going to slow the game down.
Well,
their excuse for it was like, oh, it's because the game is too fast, bro. No. You can see how Link Summoning is going to be happening. Like, we'll be talking about a lot of these freaking cards.
Pendulums may have been too fast.
Pendulums were too fast.
Pendulums were definitely too fast.
But other decks could still play.
Right.
Link Summoning's mechanic sucks.
Changing the game. Literally changing the Quasar. Quasar becomes no longer... You can't do a 3-card Quasar combo anymore.
No, the old 3-card Quasar is dead, but there's
rumors
2-card
of
combo.
a 2-card combo, but Gofu's going to end up getting itself banned, and the TCG just the same way.
Yeah, because Gofu makes a really big dent forward with Link summoning.
Right.
You summon Gofu and he summons 2 tokens, and you can use
I
that
can even
to
see
Link.
the argument for Doppel getting hit. Just because we now have, like, plague spreaders. You know.
We're talking about Doppel Warrior, for those of you that don't know.
I'm sorry.
In this day and age, Doppel Warrior is not a well-known card.
Get on my level, man.
you gotta play Yu-Gi-Oh for 11 years, brother.
Come on, man. Have you ever played the game, brother? So that's
that with Max C, man. Like, it was fair
Right.
for everybody. If you chose not to play your turn because of Max C, that was your choice.
So
It wasn't unfair. Everybody could run it too.
So our buddy BC over here, he's been playing this Quasar deck for a good 8 years.
Yeah.
And
before Quasar was even out, I was already running Junk Synchron and
so
Junk
Link
Warrior.
format hits. What do you do?
Link format hits, I switch up to a 1 synchro at a time engine.
Right.
With, I think it's called Converging Wishes. We just got it in the Duelist Saga.
Oh, okay. No, well, so you're sticking with that as your main deck then?
I'm not sticking with it as my
Okay.
main deck, but I'm keeping it alive.
Oh, okay. So, I remember when you first found out about Link summoning, and you woke me up at like 2:30 in the morning, and you go, "This is it. I'm done. I quit. I'm done with Yu-Gi-Oh. They're killing my deck. Fuck
When
'em."
it first popped out with the news, I was really upset, man, because
Fuck
I
these
had
people.
just gotten more cards for the deck.
That's all we were doing, picking up Tatsus and Coral and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's 8 years. Like, that's the majority of a decade picking up cards for this one deck and trying to figure out how we can make it faster, better, more consistent.
Yeah. We've always been budget builders. I know Coral Dragon's been out for a while, and Dark Synchro made a huge impact in the OCG way before Link Summoning got announced.
And we've always been ahead of the curve picking up stuff before it got expensive. The only things that beat us were Solemn Strike, which we didn't anticipate.
Or Trishula, who was really good and came out before we were high-level players.
That was only released in one place. We only ever had one in our ownership ever. It slipped through the cracks on us.
Yeah.
And I think
to be more specific, they stole it, but whatever.
It was.
Welcome to the game.
Yeah, we just lost a whole binder. Whatever. It's not even. So. That's not your problem. Sorry, audience.
Nah, they deserve to know. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
If you plan on going to a tournament,
don't take your binder.
Yeah, don't take your binder for trades. Like, I understand that you feel like there's a good portion of the country there with cards that you've never seen.
Fuck them.
Not worth, man.
Fuck them.
Not worth.
Fuck them. You're there for business.
Get a briefcase with some fucking handcuffs or something and run it like that.
Actually, I want to bring up something real quick. I know we're supposed to be bouncing around on zoos and ban lists. So, but I feel like this is kind of synonymous with it, where they all go together. How do you feel about Billy Break this season?
I feel like Billy Break is doing some really good stuff, man. I've been watching him.
Because if it wasn't for Billy Break, 60 card Infernoid wouldn't be
a thing.
The thing, not a thing.
Like, it was popular because it's a good idea, but it was popular because Billy Break was doing it.
But it kind of reminds me of how, like, Jeff Jones revolutionized the game with Cosmos and Gores, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. For those of you that are just barely starting in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, it's kind of gotten to a point where, like, you're watching a soccer match with commentary and stuff like that.
That's true. But you know, you guys are on YouTube. You guys are on YouTube, so you can pretty essentially just type Yu-Gi-Oh and literally any YCS, it'll pop up. You don't need us to tell you that. It might show up in the suggestions below us.
It'll basically show you some hand-picked games from YCS tournaments,
right?
Off of which some of them show Billy Break and how good he is at the game.
Oh man, he's a legend. He is a monster. I would rue the day that I sit across the table from Billy Break.
I remember you sucking his dick a few days ago when you were saying that he
look,
was our one chance to get to win Worlds.
Billy Break is the U.S.'s best chance at World.
I agree with you.
If he goes to U.S. Nationals and doesn't come out on top or with his World his definite world qualifier invitation or whatever, because I think he's won a couple YCSs this year.
Yeah, there's no way he's not invited. The question is, will he go and will he win?
I think the question comes down to what he's playing, and it also comes down to what Konami decides world format's going to be, because as we all know, they used a different ban list for world because they got to meet in the middle with OCG and TCG. And then the question becomes, will Maxi be at 2 because it is an OCG?
I feel like it won't because that hurts players.
And will vanities be legal?
I doubt that vanities will be legal. I feel like it's going to be an all-out barrage. And that they're going to choose for Zodiacs to be on the OCG's ban list.
And just kill it.
Man, everybody that got to World with Zodiacs as an engine can't run it for the World. That's how I see it happening.
But this is also after Link summoning hits. So there's a good chance that we might be surprised with new things that we never even thought of.
Which also raises the fact, like, they might not do Zodiacs because Zodiacs can run on the Link summoning by having just one XC that's stacked up with a bunch of materials. So they'll kill that one and sell you a new one. Because that's what Konami does.
Right. The very base bottom of everything is merchandising.
Yeah.
And what better way to sell another $500 worth of new deck than by killing the $500 worth of old deck and making it completely worthless?
Exactly. Also from the ban list, it's limited now. Rescue Cat, he was banned.
I think it's outdated now.
Yeah, it's pretty outdated.
Like, it's so outdated that there's almost no way to really practically run it.
Rescue Cat would have been great if it said level 4 instead of level 3.
What made Rescue Cat so good was back in the day, they would play it with X-Sabers, make the MX Saber Invoker, and then Invoker brought out typically Dark Soul, and then you just found ways to really spam the shit out of that. But it's so outdated now that there's almost no way you could really practically use it. I mean, the deck hurts now.
Yeah. I mean, that's just some tech that you can run during Link summoning to get one Link summon off, and that's it.
It's life.
Yeah.
It's life. Sometimes.
Also off of the ban list, now limited, a very old card that some of the new players won't even have heard of, Bryanek, Dragon of the Ice Barrier.
Oh, man, what a controversial card. So the errata changes the card so that once per turn, you can discard as many cards as you want.
It's the entire effect it used to be, but it's only once per turn now.
Right, but some people, if you don't know what it is,
well, they can look it up. I'm kidding, let's tell them.
Damn, fuck them. The level 6 water sea serpent, right?
Yeah, it was a sea serpent, yeah.
That was a dragon.
No, that's one of the things that benefited it.
A dragon.
Yeah, Trishula's a dragon, and Bryanek was fairer by not being a dragon during that format.
Yeah, and that was a format where you needed that stuff.
So he's at 2,300 attack, 14 defense. He was a generic synchro monster too. You just brought him out
with one tuner, one non-tuner.
Yeah.
You discard any number of cards from your hand, and then you send cards on the field back to the respective owner's hand.
Yeah.
And what the huge distinction with Bryanek is that it does not target.
I'm not sure if the errata targets now.
No, it's send. It just says send cards on the field back to owner's hand equal to number of discarded cards.
That is broken.
If I remember correct, but that's only once per turn. So
yeah, but you only need that one turn if you're bouncing back the 3 cards your opponent had.
Yeah, I can't.
It's giant grenade for everything, and that's why it was banned. But before you could do it multiple times per turn, so you could do it, your opponent could respond, and you can do it again.
It's spiritualism on anything.
Yeah. With TG Hyper Librarian, you can restock your hand in case you didn't have enough cards the first time to get rid of your opponent's
field. It's a spread out Ryza.
Yeah. So that's absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna get it and run it. Also off of the ban list, now limited, is Brain Control, which is now shitty.
I don't know anything about its reprint. Could you give me some information?
So Brain Control originally was you paid 100 life points to get one of your opponent's monsters onto your side of the field till the end phase.
Right.
And that was it. You could attack with it, you could tribute it, you could do anything you wanted.
Right.
Perfect.
Right.
The errata now makes it that you can only take a monster that can be normal or special summoned. Normal summoned or set, I'm sorry. Okay. Meaning a monster that is special summoned but can be normal, you can take.
Like an inherit summoned PLS is theirs.
No,
Can't
because
be
it
normal
can't
summon.
be normal summon or set.
Yeah, that's what I mean. An inherently summoned BLS can't be brain control, so it stays theirs.
Yeah.
Brutal. And that used to be one of the great parts of the card where you could take a Dark Arm Dragon or Judgment Dragon and just nuke the board on them.
Yeah, like the main thing with it is like what you want to take.
Sorry, I got a little bit quiet, just like trying
Thinking
to
about
absorb that knowledge.
Yeah.
That sucks. That
Like
sucks.
let's
shit.
say your opponent asks Crystal Wing, and you burn out the effect so that you can take it and tribute it off because you don't run kaijus.
No, I get it. I get that. So let's go ahead and move forward. The next card, I believe, Future Fusion.
Yeah, it's Future Fusion. To be quite clear, you cannot take extra deck monsters anymore.
What do you mean?
With brain control.
Oh, okay. With Future Fusion, I know it's been errata, but as far as I understand, it's essentially the same card that it was, where you pick an extra deck monster, then you send all the materials from the deck to the graveyard that make that extra deck monster. I'm not sure where the errata is, but I believe that it is that you have to wait until the next standby phase to send all of the fusion materials to the graveyard. I could be full of crap. We're looking it up right now. Let's find out how full of crap I am.
Yeah. All right, so the latest errata for Future Fusion.
Should be that one.
This one right here?
Should be.
All right. During your first standby phase after this card's activation,
that's
show one fusion monster in your extra deck and send the fusion materials listed on it from your main deck to the graveyard. During your second phase during your second standby phase after this card's activation, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck with the same name as the monster you showed and target it with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy the target. When that target is destroyed, destroy this card.
That's so shit now.
No, actually.
Sorry. That's just...
How is that shit?
I said, well, compared to what it used to do, where it used to open up first turn overload, or Chaos Dragon craziness first turn.
Now what it does is you activate it and wait.
Right.
The next turn you send stuff, and then you wait, and on the second one, that's when you get your monster.
It's got to make it that far, though.
Well, now you don't have to send all the monsters from your grave when you activate it. If they decide to MST, they have to wait, which means that you have a chance to, MST their stuff.
What's MST?
Mystical Space Typhoon. Or Twin Twisters, whatever people run.
Oh, man. I don't know.
I prefer Twin Twister at 1, Mystical Space at 1.
I feel like that's just so risky. Like, you're just putting another target on the board. You're just making another bullseye for your opponent to hit.
It takes attention away from other stuff.
That's true.
It takes attention away from your scales.
That's true. I mean, I could Future Fusion, put a Fossil Den out. Future Fusion ain't getting hit next turn.
Yeah, but neither are you getting the Fusion Summon.
But I can send the stuff to the graveyard.
Yeah.
I just don't get to resolve the summon.
Another card that is off of the ban list now is Imperial Order, which I think is the best one to come out and the most powerful.
That's the most powerful card to come off the ban list in a very long time.
Yeah.
In a very, very long time.
For those of you that don't know, Imperial Order is the royal decree of spells. When this card is on the field, you cannot activate the effects of spell cards. The only difference between it and royal decree is that you have to pay 700 life points per turn for it.
That's true. And what they changed on it, because they eroded it, what they did change on it is that you have to pay that 700. There you go. Read it.
Alright, so the actual effect, because we just got it on the Duelist Saga, which means you should get it.
In our previous video, we pulled it.
Yeah. Negate all spell effects on the field. So it doesn't even negate the activation, it negates the effects now.
On the field, though.
Once per turn,
so,
during the standby phase, you must pay 700 life points. This is not optional, or this card is destroyed.
So we get hit by Galaxy Cyclone, for example, from the grave. Because it says effects on the field.
Yeah.
So Galaxy Cyclone hits us.
That's kind of the only spell that really hits it, man. Dryden will kill it.
Well, Return of the Dragon Lords goes off from the grave to defend stuff. So would Void Seer for Infernoids to protect them. And, there are other cards like that go off in the grave. Yeah. But there aren't very many anymore.
So here's a good question.
Huh.
Let's say your opponent activates Imperial Order, and you chain to it.
Right.
Would that effect matter? It's gonna resolve first, but then the effects are negated. So let's say you lance,
Oh
but
no,
then the effect of lance is negated.
no, it works in reverse order. So the activated card happens, right?
Yeah.
It's just to be sure, negate all spell cards on the field.
Right. Negate all spell cards on the field. Since it's not in the field, it doesn't negate it.
Right. So
We're talking about like negate
Lance,
Swords of Revealing Light.
Lance first resolved. So like if you chain Lance to order, order goes off. Lance is chained. Lance resolves, and then everything's sent to the graveyard at the end of chain.
Now it negates the effects. So one key thing to note. Correct me if I'm wrong
It doesn't
here,
negate
JD.
the effect.
What do you mean?
It's negate the effects on the field.
Yeah, on the field. I'm getting there.
So it's no longer.
Hold on a second. You're jumping the gun, brother.
Alright, I'm sorry. I get excited.
Can you activate pendulums?
Oh crap! It doesn't stop you from activating them. It just negates the effects.
All right.
So it's like with Royal Decree, it doesn't stop your opponents from activating traps. So even in a Paleozoic deck where they're not gonna get the effect of the thing on the board, they activated the trap.
So you can still pendulum summon your monsters, no problem. Doesn't necessarily slow you down with that. It's just negating spells on the field.
It negates the effect of spells, so you can't use their pendulum effects.
Yeah, like Tenki wouldn't go off.
Right. Neither would like your Harpy's Hunting Ground.
Yeah, the Harpy's Hunting Ground wouldn't go off either.
Oh, Java Country.
What about that Amorphage guy that makes it so that, or not an Amorphage, I
He
think
would
it's
be
a
a
fairy.
spell card. He has to be in the pendulum zone.
Yeah.
So his effect would be negated. I think that's kind of one of the reasons that they dropped it out of the ban list, and they didn't errata it too harshly, to make sure that they made up for taking away vanities.
Because that does kind of make up for it. If anything, it might be worse.
And it drove sales.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, merchandising. Sell it.
That's right. Also now semi-limited. It used to be limited. Wisdom Eye Magician.
You know, I'm actually kind of happy about that. That one's fair.
Yeah, it seems fair to me.
But, you know, Pendulums just got hit with a brand new, fuck you effects.
Yeah.
They deserve Wisdom Eye back. Wisdom Eye didn't deserve to be limited anyway, but that's just me.
Yeah. Also, new on the semi-limited list is Radpier. We've already talked about that one.
Very unfortunate.
Interrupted Kaiju Slumber.
Fuck that card. It should be
not
a 1.
semi-limited.
It should be a 1.
That card should be at 1, and I don't mean it because it's unfair, because it's basically a dark hole and then you get a free monster to take less damage with. But it's unfair because everybody ran it. It's obscene that everybody ran the same 10 cards plus other stuff.
I can't agree with that logic though. That's like saying order, like if everyone starts running the Imperial Order, which you know is going to happen.
Yeah.
That's like saying I hate Imperial Order because Imperial Order is being used.
No, there's a big difference between everybody runs 2 Max Cs, everybody runs 1 Vanities, and everybody runs 1 Imperial Order. 4 cards, no big deal. To go up to like 7 to 10 cards that everybody's running the exact same thing, which is what we're running into, man. Everybody and their mother
running into, because now it's changing.
Everybody and their mother was running the exact same Zodiac deck with Kaiju Engine in it.
It's because nobody has any sense of conservation.
They're all net deckers.
Sorry, guys.
I feel like saying the N-word every time I say net deckers.
Wow.
Right? It sounds offensive to me.
I'm halfway as offended right now.
Halfway as offended?
Halfway.
Only half.
But you feel like saying it.
No. I feel like it's on the same level. You know what I mean? Like when we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh players.
You're derailing us. You're derailing this video. We never get derailed.
What video? It's audio. No, I'm just kidding with you. And also no longer on the list, the now shit card known as Sangan.
Sangan caught the shaft and he didn't deserve that.
I mean, with that kind of errata, hell yeah, it shouldn't be on the ban list. I believe now it's once per turn, correct?
I have no idea. I haven't seen the newest errata. I don't care for it. I don't. Sangan did not deserve what it got. I understand getting a 1500 or less could make it a very powerful card, but that's just part of the game. Like, Sangan's a classic.
Alright, so the new effect for Sangan as it's been errata.
The fourth
if
errata.
This card is sent from the field to the graveyard add one monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. But you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the name for the rest of this turn. And you can only use this effect of Sangan once per turn. So it's even worse than we thought it was. You can add Shadow Mist, and fuck you, you can't use Shadow Mist.
But you can still summon it.
You can still summon it, but it doesn't really do much. Why would you summon it without getting the effect? Why wouldn't you special summon it instead of Sangan it?
At least it's not once per turn.
Yeah, it is once per turn. It says last sentence. You can only use this effect of Sangan once per turn.
Oh, well, fuck me, never mind.
Yeah. It's just a horrible card now. Nobody use it, please. Be good players.
You know what? Prove him wrong. Somebody used the shit out of that card. Fucking drop it with Curry Bandit and play it with Wing Karibo and just do dumb chaos plays. Fuck them.
Somebody Exodia me with Sangan now that it's back.
Oh shit. Well, you can't play the card effects. Like that's
not an effect. That's a win condition.
That's kicked them.
That's a win condition. And they could add the normal one. Any of the 4 normals.
Prove it. I want verification. Titzer
now I have to run it just to show you wrong.
Titzer didn't happen. Yeah. We kind of been at this for a little while, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been at this for a little while.
37 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
So the ban list sucked, but it didn't really affect anybody except for net deckers.
Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Even if you think it was a good ban list, it's a bad ban list.
Yeah.
I mean, I was maining vanities in a deck that needed it.
Me too.
But I'm also maining vanities in a deck that doesn't need it.
I was maining vanities and double maxi.
I was playing gadgets.
Without
vanities, I got no insurance.
I know.
I need Fossil Dentist now. I need to get King Tiger Wangu, which will be a card we might discuss in the future.
That we will discuss in the future. I think our next episode should be cards that'll be good during the next few formats. Like cards that you should run to be able to link summon or to be able to fight.
Good side deck. Yeah, mostly just good side deck, good main deck, good tech, good options, depending on your build.
Good budget stuff for you to be able to fight against the cards that everybody's running right now.
Right, and if you're a new player, it might take a while before you really start to understand where we're coming from, but eventually you get there.
Yeah.
If you're an older player, eventually...
If you're an older player, like if you're getting to about as many years as we are, you probably understand our point of view with it to begin with.
Yeah, most likely. And if you don't, fuck it.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Alright, so guys, remember that you can catch us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutors.
Well, I've been JD.
And I've been Bandit Crowley.
And we'll catch you guys next time on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutors.
Signing out.